For veterans Mackey and King, it's a chance to gain significant ground by the time they glide onto the glare ice of Farewell Lake. From Farewell Lake, it's yet another challenge, the burn. In 1978, a huge fire swept through this area, leaving behind the barren landscape of the Farewell Burn.
It's one thing after another for a little while. And when you think you are through the worst of it, then you got the burn, they call it. And just the name alone is intimidating. 90 miles of the most desolate country you'll ever encounter. The only thing out there is wild animals, and you don't see too many of them because they're running for the hills as well.
Martin Boozer has made it through the worst terrain of the trail, so he and his dogs are ready for a break.
This is a place called Salmon River. I'm going to be here about 6 hours and feed the dogs and let them sleep, and then go to McGrath from here. If I'm lucky, I find water, which saves me tons of time melting snow.
It can take 20 cups of snow to make 1 cup of water, so Martin hopes to find a watering hole on the Salmon River. The Iditarod Trail traverses the most desolate and inhospitable wilderness in North America. Without the skills for survival, a musher can lose more than just the race.
Well, you don't have to melt snow, you know, the snow melting takes a long time. But I don't think I'm gonna find any water today.
Without easy water, Martin lights up a fire to melt snow.
Off we go, guys, making water for y'all, huh? It's a lot of snow to make a little bit of water. I'm gonna cook them a meal here. Here comes another team.
Martin's son Roan makes it to the campsite.
It's fun to have Roan here.
Oh. Hey.
Now that Roan has arrived safe and sound, Dad can finally take a nap. But sleep does not come easily on the Iditarod. Barking dogs, freezing temperatures, and the constant stress of being passed by the competition all conflict with a musher's need for sweet slumber. Back in Anchorage, Kim Franklin's race is officially over. Her lost dogs never made it to Roan, but they eventually returned safely to the Rainy Pass checkpoint and were flown back to Anchorage, where Kim reunites with her team and her husband.
The ruling is that you have to check into the next checkpoint with all the dogs that you checked out of the last checkpoint, and if you don't, you're forced to withdraw. So I'm pretty gutted. The whole experience has been amazing, but you know, it's just too soon to end it for me. I can't just end it here.
Day 3. At 11:36 in the morning, Lance Mackey is the 4th musher to make it to the Nikolai checkpoint, but he's barely hanging on.
Now we pulled into Nikolai. I couldn't understand how it was still doing as well as it was position-wise, with a team that was not performing that well. You know, we're getting down the trail, but it wasn't pretty. 15.
How about your leads? Any problem up there?
I don't really have a lead. I got so many damn dogs that don't want to run in lead. It's kind of ridiculous. We're going to have a hell of a time out running that team this year. Oh, yeah?
Jeff King pulls into Nikolai in 5th place, and Lance monitors his every move.
And if he's staying here, then he must be making the right decision. So I know he knows what the hell he's doing, right? I'm not sure that I do.
By the time you get to Nikolai, you can kind of see how things are shaking out.
Trying to nurse this team along at the moment. We got more issues than I've ever had. I'm not sure what's going on. We ain't even made it halfway yet.
Lance is in triage mode, caring for his dogs. But the master, Jeff King, is studying the competition.
I could see traveling times. I can know by looking at a check sheet. Some of the big guns might have experienced some trouble. I am gonna watch and see if they stand up to eat, how much time he spends on their feet.
Yeah, so we got some sore feet. Hey, look at this one's bad. See that?
I might as well be a radiologist looking at an x-ray and seeing a broken bone or not.
What are you looking at?
The gait of the dogs, their enthusiasm, and the spirit at which they are ready to proceed.
I dropped Hobo, one of my main leaders. I thought he would really warm up and come out of it, but he just didn't. And yeah, it's always sad. It's like, you know, taking your starting quarterback out of your main lineup. He was the speed behind this team.
That was the first time that going home had crossed my mind. I had to take myself out of the race and accept the fact that I wasn't going to win this one. You can't win everyone, you know, but at this particular time, the dogs, they're not performing well.
I saw what Lance saw on his team. They looked like a team that I could beat. They didn't look right. They were not the team I saw the year before. And I went, yes.
The difficult and dangerous terrain of the steppes and the Dalzell Gorge have opened the gap between the front of the pack and the back. Lance Mackey and Jeff King are up with the leaders. But Martin Boozer and son Roan, along with Dee Dee Johnroe, are well positioned to come from behind. It's day 3 of Alaska's most intense overland race. And already former Iditarod champions Lance Mackey and Jeff King are stepping forward as the pack leaders. With the first 300 miles behind them, the battle for the lead is heating up.
Yet I have nothing against Jeff. I have the utmost respect for the guy, but I want to beat him. He is the winningest musher in this sport. I want to be that guy.
If I look at my statistics on paper, I just go, wow, there's nobody who can touch me. I don't think anybody drives dogs better than I do.
But this battle won't be a fair fight. King is 16 dogs strong, while Mackey's dog team is rapidly falling apart. Over the next 72 hours, they'll cover 343 miles of trail over the Iditarod's second and most remote stage. This is the Alaskan interior. The interior spans 7 checkpoints from Roan to Ruby.
There's really no wind in the interior, but what there is very extreme weather. Even during January, they can have thaws and rain, so the interior is a real challenge.
This year, unseasonably warm weather is making the interior run even more challenging, especially for sled dogs that are conditioned to run in sub-zero temperatures. The heat makes dehydration and diarrhea an issue for dog teams. And it's not good for trail conditions.
You need to have a reliably groomed or hard trail. I use the analogy of a person running along the beach and making pretty good time and getting to the next little village. And then a person comes the same distance and runs on the bike trail. He makes pretty darn good time and gets to the next village, not only faster, but with less fatigue.
Hey. Okay.
23 miles up ahead of Martin Boozer is Lance Mackey.
There you go.
The conditions are taking their toll on his team as well.